and becoming fully conscious. So, that's another big reason, that they're here.
Because we are in the galactic alignment to the core, or what's the theory that they're presenting about this ascension process?
Well, I really believe that galactarian alignment is definitely, a thing. And if people are interested, about that and the Starseed program and raising consciousness, that's all in I Am Tehran. That whole thing that comes out of Melchizedek, So, and it's about messengers and mighty messengers, and all of them who are incarnating on Earth as well as learning about what's going on up there. So, that galactarian alignment just was the opening for us to become universal citizens and to becoming a part of the greater universe. So, there was a time, I've sat around for quite some time, with the script and waiting, for the word to get it started or whatever, because that's what, they kept telling me. And then, I woke up one morning and in my head I heard, okay, time to make a short film. This is start a Kickstarter campaign.
Wow.
I went, okay. That's what I did. I started it, and I knew that we would raise the little bits of money as we went on, and that's exactly what we did. And we had the most amazing, huge industry professionals come on board and give their services for free. We had James Cameron's visual effects coordinator.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. We had a huge DP, we had producers I brought on board, that I've done movies with. I brought 3 different ones on, and each of them were able to, pull in, free giant, sound stages for us to shoot on. When we did our green screen day, we almost had a casting crew of 100 people.
Amazing. Wow.
That's enormous. That's enormous. So for a short film. So, but we did it and we made it through, and, it was exciting. And once we got that done, then, I had to raise money for the visual effects, and, we did that and finished those, and, we're working on all the other sections and everything. And, what I did is we have the main storyline, and then for people who haven't heard the story, I cut together Dr. Frank talking about Valiant Thor, why he came here, and why they turned down the proposal in a little couple-minute segment. And that's what blows people away, because the average Joe has never heard of this story. So they think they're watching science fiction, and then they see this piece at the end, and they're blown away. 2 of the housewives were sitting in front of me. They turned around, they looked at me, and they went, "Oh, my God. I have never heard of this before. This is unbelievable. I want to know more. Where can I get the book?" And that's what it's for.
Mm-hmm. Is the book in now, the Stranger, the Pentagon? Is that out for a while?
Yeah, people can still get it. They can, get, if they just click on Help Fund Short Film, because, we're still trying to pay off our post-production expenses, which are huge. And then after that, the money will go towards festivals and our pre-production on the big movie. But they can get the Stranger at the Pentagon book. They can get a copy of the movie when it's ready in a couple of months. They can get a online version of the film shortly. And we have all of Dr. Frank's books. We have the official movie poster. We have the poster of Victor 1 and its blueprints, because it holds up to 200 people. We have a poster of the Starship. All of that. So if they go to Stranger at the Pentagon and click on Help Fund Short Film, there's a whole donation tier there. My email's at the top. They can just email me and tell me what donation tier, and I sign everything for them, so, they can be collector's items someday. So
I wanted to go back. Pretty cool point the road not traveled. So I wanted to do it. There was the offer. And what kind of world do you think we would have had we been able to accept the offer? And what was the offer, if you could just tell our people?
Well, I don't know exactly what was in the offer. The actual laying out of the offer, but it was designed to help eliminate sickness, disease, and poverty, which would prolong life. So, and it was to be implemented throughout the United States, and then, when proven successful, throughout the world. But what ended up in the end is they said what would happen is it would put doctors, nurses, pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, all of that out of business, and it would crash the economy. So, and in a world of monetary things, that's a hard decision to make. I mean, when you think back to the time when we had the choice between Edison and free energy, and we went the greed way. We went the way that people pay for it, right? So.
Well, that's because we're on a money-based system, which is not really.
Yeah.
And the extraterrestrials. Money, the money is the problem. Money is
right. Well, they don't have it, and they don't judge it either. They just, it's just this is just a unique place that that is really being focused on to bring it more up and into, for the beings to become fully conscious. All the citizens are want to do that. It's all the people that hold the power over everything else that don't want that to happen, because, they'd rather have the population dumbed down so that they can control it.
Right.
So,
I think the next time they come with the proposal, they'll have an alternative system for doing societies and economics and governance and everything. So we have the whole concept, because just giving us a piece, of course, put them into a quandary, and of course they chose economics. But if they had a whole societal structure that was a new paradigm, they may have been more open to making the change. What was your question you had, honey?
Well, I didn't have a question. It was just more an observation. Just like Roddenberry in his so-called fiction was really showing us what is, and it just seems like right now what you're doing is you're the new Roddenberry. You're taking us, you're daring to go where even Gene hasn't gone before.
Yes, and by the way, Gene actually did say he knew he was receiving communications from extraterrestrials. He knew it. And by the way, one of my good friends was the editor of all the Star Trek series, from Next Generation all the way to the last one. So he saw a cut of the film and he loved it, and he told me what Gene would have thought about it. And there was one little shot that kind of bothered me, because somebody looked out of proportion in the shot, and he said, no. He said, no. Gene would have said to everybody here that they don't do things, they don't judge things, they don't do that. Of course, we know that, but that the way things look should not be changed just because of our perceptions of it. And so he was actually fine with the shot. He actually came to the big screening as well, and he helped us do a trim edit of a lot of things, and as well when we were doing when we were there. So so it was really exciting. It was really exciting. So,
did you ever meet Gene?
No, I never met him. But the one story that I do love is when Lucille Ball was head of RKO Studios. Her and Desi bought it, and they changed it to Desi Lou. When she was head of it, she's the woman who greenlit Star Trek.
Oh, really, Lucy?
Yeah. So. We love Lucy even more. I mean, I've always loved Lucy, but I mean, and she also greenlit Mission Impossible. as well.
Oh, way to go, Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
way to go, Lucy.
I saw Gene several times because at 12 years of age I became a Trekkie, and I went around to all the conferences, and he would come and do private screenings and talks with the original pilot, and he was an amazing visionary. He saw where it was going to and what's going on now, and including artificial intelligence and everything that's progressing. And he just saw it. He gave us. He would take us with his words all the way through to the 22nd century and 23rd and beyond.
Yeah.
Showing us how we systematically get here from here to there. And it was. Right now I'm getting chills. It was just chilling being in his presence, and I'm blessed that I got to meet him.
Yeah, Valiant Thor is the Vulcan that says contact has begun.
Well, yes, and, I mean, so many people are so excited, for it. It's interesting, Kevin Kilner, who starred in Gene Roddenberry's Earth Final Conflict, he gave, his quote is on the back of I Am Tehran, and he said, like Gene Roddenberry, Campobasso's writing teaches us how to live harmoniously on Earth by looking to our future in the stars. Gene would be proud. And that quote just really meant so much to me because, we've all lived with Star Trek, and it's such an incredible thing, it's such an incredible teaching vehicle, for everyone. And so now what we're doing is, I say that, the Tehran book and Stranger at the Pentagon is now going to graduate Star Trek and Star Wars fans because they're based on true stories.
Right.
Yeah.
You see,
do you have a script for the full feature one drafted yet? Written?
Oh, of course, absolutely. We're rocking and ready to go. All we need is the money.
All right.
Well, the short film is our very expensive sizzle reel. So so it'll accompany all the the business plan and the budget and all of those things to investors. So so that'll be that's our next step. So.
Wow. So people can help this be done by, how can they make this happen faster?
How can they donate?
How can they, you were saying?
Oh, yeah, just go to strangeratthepentagon.com and just click on the Help Fund Short Film button, and then they can look at all the donation tiers there of all the great goodies they can get. And by the way, all these books are out of print. These posters are out of print. You can't get them anywhere else. So, or you could get them on Amazon, but you're going to pay, $100 for Stranger at the Pentagon for a used book. And these are brand new books that were overflow that the publisher had that they gave me for this very purpose. So.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, we better get over there and order that
Yeah.
before they're gone.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to check out the Tehran book, they can just go to autobiography of ANET.com, and they can order the book there by clicking on, buy book. And I'm happy to autograph those as well. So I don't charge for autographing. I know a lot of people do. I'm happy to do it. So.
And so, if all goes well, when do you? Just imagine it's going perfectly. When do you think production could begin? And
it could begin next year because we're ready. We're ready. So everything is ready. So it's now just preparing. I mean, what I really like to do is get into pre-production and start, all the storyboards and all of that because, with a giant visual effects movie like this, we've got to really plan everything out shot by shot. So.
Yeah. Are you going to have any viewings where people can come and celebrate together and see these?
Yes, as a matter of fact. By the way, I've just talked to my friends who own the Integratron, And we're going to do some screenings at the Integratron probably the second week in January. So if